Hello, 大家好, and welcome to our first class. So, our main topic for today is hello and greetings. And most of us probably already know how to say this. I've used this so many times, but now we are going to learn how to say it correctly. It is pronounced ni hao, not ni hao. Ni hao, which means hello. Hello. So please pronounce it after me. Ni hao. Ni hao. Hello. So this is a universal greeting that you can say to anyone and anytime, and it's super acceptable. So today you will learn the initials in Chinese, the 4 tones of Mandarin, and to greet someone professionally, and then say thank you and introduce yourself in Chinese. So the things you should take note is, if possible, please make notes on your own end to reinforce what you're learning. Then always repeat after me whenever I pronounce a word. This is vital for your speaking development. And then practice immediately after class. Do not wait till you have more vocabulary. You can always practice to yourself, or you can also engage any of the AI tools out there for your communication practice. And here we have the Pinyin alphabet. So Pinyin basically means spelling. So Pinyin is the alphabets that actually make up Chinese language. These alphabets are joined together to form words in Chinese. And they are broken into two. We have the one we call the initials, which is 23 in number, and then we have the finals, which is 24 in number. So you can understand it that the initials are consonants. If you look at it, all of them are consonants. There is no single vowel here. While the finals resemble vowels, but then there are the single ones, then there are the group ones in twos, and then there is the pairs in threes. So the initials, these are, we're not going to learn everything at once. We're just going to take them step by step so that you are not overwhelmed. But then outside this class, you can also go on YouTube, find videos on how to read these initials and finals. In fact, I have a video on it, so you can check it out on my channel. So let's start. Please repeat after me. Bo, bo, po, po, mo, mo, fa, fa, da, da, ta, ta, na, na, la, la. So I want you to pay attention. Immediately after this F, the sound at the end changes a bit. From this bo to fo is like proper O sound. Bo, po, mo, fo. Then from this D, the sound changes to this E sound. That's the sound of E in Chinese. So the, ta, na, la. So do not confuse them together. And here we have the finals. So the first one is ah, ah. The second one is wo, wo. It's as if you are putting invisible U beside this. Wo, wo. And this E, to pronounce it, you basically pronounce this O, but with a smiling face, like a smiling lips. So you spread your lips and try to pronounce O. You get closer to this E sound. So it's pronounce O first, O, then smile and pronounce it again. O, O. That's exactly how you get this E sound. So this is not E, is not A, is O, O, O. The next sound is Yi, you put an invisible Y beside it. Yi, yi. The last but not the least, this you put an invisible W before it and you have woo, woo. Now let's note that not all initials can be paired with finals. You don't need to have it offhand, but we're going to show you a table on the next slide. Then as we learn, you will naturally learn the words paired the way they are. You actually don't really have to do that. So this is a table of how the initials and finals are paired. So you can just look at it. You don't really need to spend much time. You can just look at it so that you understand what I'm saying. This is the back, this is the front, this is the back. Then let's go on to doing a basic pairing of the initials and finals that we just learned. So here we have ba, ba, po, po, ma, ma, fa, fa, da, da, ta, ta, ni, ni, lu, lu. So try to pronounce this on your own. Mm, 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 mm. Nice, nice, nice. Excellent. So let's go on to the four tones of Mandarin. Chinese is a tonal language and you cannot do without a tone. So you need to know that the tone is not optional. It is compulsory. In fact, it is the foundation. It is the core of Chinese language. It is the center of everything. How good your Chinese is depends on your tone. In fact, your tone being standard is better than knowing more vocabulary because if you know a lot of words that you cannot even pronounce correctly, it is not a good look. You're not going to get your desired results. So that's why the tone is everything, and the tone also changes everything. It changes the sound, it changes the meaning of the message you're trying to pass across. So the four tones in Chinese are called in this order. You call them the first tone, second tone, third tone, and fourth tone. And of course, here this is the first tone, this is the second tone, this is the third tone, and this is the last tone or the fourth tone. Yeah. So here below we put like a reminder for what the tones sounds like, a reminder to remind you how to pronounce the tones when you are practicing on your own. And let's go on to the four tones. The first one, ma, ma. You see, it's so straight, flat. It doesn't fluctuate. It doesn't go down. It doesn't go up. You can use a car horn to remind yourself. Po, ma. So ma, ma. The second tone is the rising tone. It's like when you say yes, when somebody calls you say yes, yes. So ma, ma, ma. And the third one is both falling and rising tone combined together. So it's a combination of the second and the fourth tone. And it's like when you are in doubt or you are still thinking about something, be like, really? Or I know this down and up. Well, so it's ma, ma, pronounce it, ma. You should also use your hand to make the movement for better consolidation, okay? And the fourth tone is when you say what, exclamation, what, yes. So you say ma, ma, ma. Or let's have the four tones together. Ma, 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 ma. So all these four words here, there are four different words. Even though the spelling might look the same, but the tones are different, and so the meaning changes. This first one means mom, ma, mama, mom. The second one is ma, like Indian hen. And then the third one is horse, as you can see below it, ma. Then the last but not the least, to ma. To ma somebody is to scold somebody. So the boss is scolding this employee. So imagine when you want to ask somebody about their mom, how is their mom doing, and then you are asking them how is their horse doing. I mean, you see it can really cause confusion. Like the other party will struggle to understand what you're saying. How? Feature how? Let's move on. So this is exactly what I explained here. We're not gonna talk about it again. And the initials and finals. So let's have the initials and finals in the four tones. So let's do pronunciation drills. Please repeat after me. Ah, 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 ah. Wo, 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 wo. Yi, 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 yi. Uh, 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 uh. So I pronounce this last one. Mm, 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 mm. Fei Chanhe, Fei Chanhe, good job. Let's move on to the next pronunciation drills. So the combination ba, 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 ba. Po, 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 po. Me, 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 me. The, 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 the. Lu, 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 lu. So this is a quick exercise for you here. Practice out loud. Mm, 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 mm. 非常好，非常好，非常好，非常好 means very good, very good. Let's move on. But the first things we're learning today, the greetings. We've already learned how to say ni hao. So the ni hao that we learned is actually the informal one. Now there is a formal one. It is not so different from the informal one. They added an N after the ni. So it's nin hao, nin hao, nin hao. So ni hao, informal, nin hao, formal. So remember, when you're meeting your business partner or when you're talking to your boss, when you want to greet them, you can say nin hao, nin hao. So if you notice, these are two third tones together. But then there's a special rule in Chinese that when three third tones or when two third tones follow each other, then the first or all the third tone before the last tone becomes second tone. So even though it is written ni hao, you pronounce it ni hao, this ni changes to second tone, which is ni, sort of ni. So ni hao, ni hao. Only this hao retains the full third tone pronunciation. So let's take it again. Ni hao, nin hao. And then your introduction. How do you introduce yourself in Chinese? We'll use this expression, I am called so person. So you say, 我 means I, 我, and 叫, please pronounce this word, 叫means call, to call somebody like with your mouth and call, come, or I am called so person. So together you have 我叫 Peter, 我叫 James, 我叫 Deborah, 我叫 Jane. Can you introduce yourself? Good. Hope you did this exercise just now. So with this, you can introduce yourself anywhere. Then, essential roles and titles that you need to learn at this stage. We have 先生, which means Mr. Please pronounce it 先生. We have 女士, 老板, 经理. Let's go again. 先生, 女士, 老板, 经理. Now, one thing you need to know in Chinese is that the titles always come last. The surname comes first and the titles come last. For example, if somebody's surname is Li, that means you say Li Mr., not Mr. Li, the way we say it in English. So you say Li and then add this 先生, Li 先生, Miss Li, 李女士. For 老板 Li, 李老板, that's boss Li. And manager Li, 李经理. So what is your title at work? So if it's a manager, you put your surname and then you now put the title or the role that you hold. And then essential words for politeness. We have 谢谢. Please pronounce this again. 谢谢. Thank you. Here we have 不客气. 不客气 is, oh, you are welcome. Don't be polite. You're welcome. It's always a response to thank you. So 谢谢不客气. The last here is 再见. See you. This 再见 basically means see you. Let's see again. See you. 再见. Please pronounce it 再见. All together. 谢谢不客气再见. So let's have an activity, a simulation where you are meeting your business partner or a Chinese person for the first time and you want to introduce yourself. So you say, 你好，先生，我叫 Peter，谢谢. So this 谢谢 obviously you don't have to say it. So 你好，先生，我叫 Peter. 你好，先生，我叫 Peter. So can you use this format to introduce yourself? Mm 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 mm. Good, good. So you can learn this 谢谢. It always comes handy whenever you need it to show appreciation. It's okay. Do this activity again. Repeat it up to 3 times for reinforcement. How? Let's move on. And after learning how to introduce yourself, of course, the next thing you are going to do is to ask the other party, what is your name? And here we're going to learn it. So there is the formal and the informal one. The informal one, you say, 你 means you. 你 means you. 你叫什么名字?你叫什么名字? I'm going to sing this up to 10 times. 你叫什么名字?你叫什么名字?你叫什么名字?你叫什么名字?你叫什么名字?你叫什么名字?你叫什么名字?你叫什么名字?你叫什么名字? That's the informal way of asking, what is your name? So make sure you actually repeat this up to 10 times. You know why? By the time you say it up to 10 times, you will be more comfortable with pronouncing it. 你叫什么名字?什么 means what? 名字 is the word for name. 什么名字? What name? 你叫什么名字? For the formal way of saying this, you say 请问. 请问 is if I may ask. This is very polite. Anytime you want to ask a question, start with 请问.请问.请问 if I may ask. 您贵姓?请问您贵姓?您贵姓? So if you notice, this G at the end is not 您贵姓. The G doesn't come out, but instead this G gives it a ringy sound towards the end. In. So 请问您贵姓?请问您贵姓? Like saying, what is your honorable surname? And then the person can tell you, 我姓. 我姓. They will use, so this 姓 alone means surname. So when they reply you, they will say, 我姓李. 我姓李. Now let me ask you, 请问您贵姓? You should reply, 我, remember what is I, 姓李 我姓, you put your surname. 我姓 Adebayo. 我姓 Ola. 我姓 Hamid. 我姓 Shola. 我姓 Ejikem. 我姓 Peter. 我姓 Crowther. So let me ask you again. 请问 您贵姓？好的，好的。Here is our next activity. It's similar to the previous one we did. Simulation and a dialogue. You are meeting your business partner or Chinese person for the first time. This is between Mr. Shegun and Mr. Li. Mr. Shegun, 你好，先生. Remember, 先生 means Mr. 你好，先生，我叫谢公。Mr. Lee replies, 你好，谢公先生，请问您贵姓？请问, if I may ask, 您贵姓? What is the honorable surname? Mr. Lee goes, 我姓李，叫玉。我姓李，叫玉。Basically say, my surname is Li. I'm called Yu. So his name is Li Yu. Li Yu. Let's read the dialogue again. 你好，先生，我叫谢公。你好，谢公先生，请问你贵姓？我姓李，叫玉。All right, your turn to read the dialogue. Ready? Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. 好，非常好。So you should practice this dialogue as many times as possible. Yes, you can also read along with me. The time I was reading, you just pause at that point and then repeat it as many times as possible. This is first to reinforce what you've learned and also to correct your pronunciation. So let's have a quick review of everything we've learned. We learned the four tones: ba, 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 po, 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 po. And here we learned the ni hao. So how do you say ni hao, hello, in the formal way? You say nin hao, nin hao. And how do you introduce yourself in Chinese? 我叫 Peter, 我叫 James, 我叫 Deborah. And how do you ask somebody, what is your name? The informal way. Okay, let's look at it. 你叫什么名字？你叫什么名字？ And then the formal way is 请问，请问你贵姓？请问你贵姓？ And how do you say thank you? I believe we all know that. Yes. How do you say don't mention you are welcome? You say 不客气，不客气. And how do you say bye bye, see you later? You say 再见，再 见. And how do you say Mr. Lee in Chinese? 李先生. Li Xiansheng. And how do you say Miss in Chinese? 女士. 女士. And what is boss in Chinese? 老板. 老板. What is 经理? 经理. What is it in English? Manager. 先生, 女士, 老板, 经理, 谢谢, 不客气, 再见. And how do you introduce yourself in Chinese? 你好，先生，我叫 Peter. And that is the end of the revision. So next I'm going to show you your assignment for the week. And here is your homework for today's lessons. Endeavor to do this homework. 再见. See you next time.